Just filed for divorce on WW in affair fog scared. I can't believe I am at this point in my marriage right now. A month ago, I would have never guessed this would happen. Up until this point, our marriage was great, never left each other's sides, great sex, dates every weekend, and always had each other's backs no matter what. I have done everything in my power to make sure she has had a great life. After knowing a man at the gym for about 2 months, my wife started an emotional affair with him. Fun fact, I would also like to add that this guy has 3 different gym memberships for different gyms. After confronting her about it, she refused to stop seeing him. She says she's in love with him, and they sent each other flirty texts and nudes. She suddenly says that she hasn't loved me for a while and that AP makes me feel like a woman. However, the love seemed so real up until this guy came into the picture. Ever since seeing this guy, she is like a completely different person, cold, resentful, and completely not interested in me. After doing the pick-me dance for 2 weeks, I professed my love for her for the final time and ended it with saying it's him or me. Her answer was, I don't know what I want. I stormed out of the house, outed her to my parents and my in-laws, and contacted AP's GF. After this, WW got pissed at me saying I'm a pussy for telling our families. When she found out I told AP's GF, she went berserk, started yelling, pushing me, throwing things. She then started saying to me that we are finished and we have no chance. The affair still continues. WW and AP pretended like they stopped seeing each other just to get AP's GF to get off of his back. If WW and AP are so in love, why won't he dump his GF? Since then, I have implemented the 180. I've also found messages of WW and AP talking about what their babies might look like, they're going on dates in public, and the affair has gotten physical. I decided enough was enough and filed for divorce. She will be getting blindsided by papers in 10 or so days. She probably would never expect me to do this, but that's a good thing. I need to show her that I'm serious, and that I am not her second choice. On the day she's served, I plan on going nuclear, telling our families what all she's been up to lately with AP, showing proof of continuing affair and physicality of affair to AP's GF, cutting off her gym membership, separating my money from our joint account, and making her get out of the house. I am so scared of her getting served and doing all of these things, but I know it needs to happen if I want any chance of lifting the fog. My hope is to save my marriage by dropping an atomic bomb on it, but am prepared for the worst. Where I live, spouses need to separate for 6 months before any divorce can be finalized. If she doesn't come back for me in that time and implement the changes I need from her, then I know there was nothing to save. It'll be tough if that's the outcome, but it'll be okay and grow stronger from it eventually. Update, just filed for divorce on wife and affair fog. WW is gone. About a month and a half ago when I made this post, I thought I was through doing the pick-me dance, but looking back, I definitely still was. I had this fantasy in my head that having her served would finally wake her up, but that wasn't the case. She was thankful for the divorce. Like I said on my last post, in the state I live in, after the initial filing the couple must be separated for 6 months before the proceedings begin. I decided not to go completely nuclear to not ruffle any feathers. Let me tell you, whenever people on this sub say to divorce while WS is in affair fog because you'll get a better deal, listen to them. She let me have our house, our dog, and pretty much anything I wanted to keep. She also agreed to sign a court order saying she can't come after me for spousal support. She moved out today. It was probably the most bittersweet thing I've ever been through. On one hand, living with her for the past 2 months was absolutely brutal. On the other hand, it feels like a huge chapter of my life is coming to a close. I cried pretty hard the moment she walked out, but I know this is absolutely for the best. Her and AP are still talking and sneaking around, and he still has his GF. WW is naive as hell and still neck deep in the fog. I'm still shocked by how infidelity changes a person's whole personality. My wife and I were together for 10 years, and she was legitimately my best friend. We had all kinds of plans for our future. Once AP came into the picture, she could barely tolerate me. She absolutely resented me and could not stand to be around me for the past 2 months of living together, And I was way more civil than I should have been. You'd think I was the one who cheated lol. I'm starting to come to terms with the fact that she may have been a covert narcissist. Back when I made my initial post, I was a broken mess. I could barely eat or sleep, and I spent most of my time lying in bed. I've come such a long way in a month and a half. I feel so much better. I still mourn what once was what could have been, but it doesn't occupy the majority of my thoughts anymore. IC has helped greatly. I've been hitting the gym, leaning on family and friends for support, and re-pursuing my hobbies. I've also got a few new hobbies lined up that I'm really excited to try. Since she legally can't come after me for spousal support, I decided that finding a new and higher paying job would be a good change of pace for me. I have a few interviews lined up that look really promising. Also, a ginormous thanks to everyone who posts in this sub. Your stories and advice have also helped me immensely in my healing. I realize that I've already been through the worst of what will be one of the most traumatic events of my life, and that gives me this strange sense of confidence and fearlessness that I've never felt before. This separation period will be a new start for me. I can take my life in any direction I want to. I feel more empowered than I have in my entire life. I don't know what the next 6 months has in store for me, but I know that I will evolve into the best version of myself during it. For any BSs out there struggling, it doesn't matter how much they gaslight, blame shift, or rewrite history. I encountered all of this up until the moment she moved out. Cheating is not your fault, and you are enough. Your WS could have tried to talk about any relationship issues with you or just ended things like an adult. They chose the most hurtful, immature, and cowardly way out. WSs are weak people who have serious character flaws. You can make it out of this in one piece, and you can heal in a short amount of time. This may be some of the most generic advice on this sub, but just take it one day at a time and focus on yourself. Actually put in the work to focus on yourself. It absolutely works. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, have you given the AP's GF the continuing info about the affair? Redditor 2, good on you dude. Keep on focusing on yourself and don't jump into any new relationships too fast. Be prepared for her to beg for you back after she finally realized the dude isn't gonna leave his girlfriend. Don't let her talk her way back into your life. But also be prepared for her never waking up from the fog. Don't live your life waiting for her to come to her senses. As good as it would feel to hear her beg for you back, the honest best case scenario for you is that you never hear from her again outside divorce proceedings. Redditor 3, you are doing this absolutely perfectly. I am amazed that you are only 25 because you are conducting yourself like an old pro. The only advice I can give is to keep doing what you are doing. Mourn the past because it is dead. Embrace the future because there is so much life left. Imagine who you want to be in 5 years, your physical, mental, and professional state, and know now that you have nothing to prevent you from achieving that goal because you can now, for the first time in 10 years, focus solely on yourself.